Happy Sunday. Let me know who's here when you have a minute. I'm excited to get our project done. I know Simple Stories came out with their new one for 2025. So if anybody is interested, reach out to Heather. They come up with a new calendar plus the paper pack that goes with it if you're interested in that, or you can use from your own stash, really. Now let's give it a minute. We're just right at 2. So I'll wait till 1 minute after and then we'll get started. I see it's coming in. Thank you for joining me today. It was a great discussion we had Friday night. Some great ideas. Hi, Charlene. Here in Nova Scotia, the weather it's mild. The temperature's nice. It's a little cloudy today. Yesterday it was very sunny, but today it's cloudy. So that's a good day for crafting. Hi, Maxine. Morning to all. Where are you from, Maxine? Because for me, it's 2 p.m. And I know for my Eastern folks in Ontario, it's 1 p.m. So I'd be interested to know where you're from. It's a gorgeous day in Ontario. Yes, the long-range forecast looks fabulous. So that's going to be nice. As long as we can keep the hurricanes at bay, we'll be great. Okay, so we're 1 minute after 2. Now, I'm always mindful of your time. Now, today, I know we talked about what's a good class time, and yeah, some of you had suggested an hour. I already know today we're going to go over that hour as, oh, you're a BC North Coast, sunny today. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining in. So I know we're going to go over our hour because we're actually doing October, November, and December's pages. And the reason why I decided to do all 3 is because we've been working on this now since January of, well, 2025. And I know a lot of you and myself plan to give this as a Christmas gift this year. So I thought we'd wrap it up this month. It's just about the end of September. And that way, that's one more thing off of our plates for Christmas. But yes, Simple Stories did come up with another one for 2025, so reach out to Heather if you're interested in that. It is a 12 by 12 calendar or a flip book, and I'm going to show you, for those of you that are new, all of my past videos are on my YouTube channel, Attic Inspired Crafter. So please go there if you're interested in seeing our videos from the past months. And you can catch up there if you can't find them on Unique's Facebook. So they are there. And what I'm going to do is just going to flip through what we've done so far. So because it's a large calendar, I kind of have to, I'll show you the important parts, which is the layout portions. And then I'll just show you what I did for a few of the days of the month. So this was January's, and it's very cute. So our very first class that we had was a prep class, and we used the For the Record line that kind of came out specifically for this project in mind. And we separated all our pages and we cut them down, and there is a video on that if you're interested. But what I chose to do is I matted my layout on a 10 by 10 block that I had actually put through my sewing machine and I stitched around. So I prepped those as well. I just found the calendar itself, the paper wasn't right thick. So if someone is truly going to hang it, or even put it on their coffee table as a conversation piece, then just handling it, I wanted a little bit more thicker paper. So that's January. This was February's. And as those of you who have been joining me since the beginning knows, I do not come into these with any kind of layout in mind. We do it together on the spot. And sometimes I'll ask your opinion. Do you like it here? Do you like it there? But this is an idea reference only. You can certainly do it however you like. There's March's, April, May, June, and this one's July. I don't know why I don't have a big one, but there's July. August, September, and now we're going to be in October. So let me just show you what I did for, I'll just go back to March because I kind of did this for all of them. So I used a big number stamp that I had, and I used that stamp all the way through to stamp the dates. You don't have to do that. The collection kit, for the record, comes with a sticker kit or stickers of where you can put the days of the month down, but I found the stickers were really tiny and really wasn't in good proportion to the block, so I chose to stamp each month myself. And then I just picked out background stamps from my stash and inks that matched for that month, and I just did some background stamping, and I did that for all of them. So there's April's. So for October, November, and December, I went in and I they're all stamped as far as the dates go. And I went in and stamped some background little, just stamps, just something to color it up a little bit. And whatever we have left, which isn't going to be a lot, but whatever we have left, I'm going to go back to previous pages, and wherever there's opportunity, like in September, there's this big border here. So I might put a strip down or whatever, something just to decorate up the pages a little bit more. So there will be really nothing left. So once I'm done the 10 by 10, then I stick it on here with some really strong tape. So I can move this out of our way for right now, but October is orange. So I'm just going to put that to the side. And I'm going to pull out my October package. So again, I'm Linda from our pre-cut. The very first class we did, we decided what we were going to cut, and then each month I just pull out papers and work with those papers. So each month there was a half a sheet that you got to cut down, and there was an ephemera pack, I do believe. So you're starting the months off with a little bit of ephemera dedicated to that month. There's Boo to You. There's a little ghosty, some candy corn, pumpkin, Give Thanks, and then the big October. Trash can down. Oh, there's another pumpkin. Look at these cute bats. And sometimes I use all of the pieces and sometimes I don't, but I think I'll be using all of these ones because they're very cute. More candy corn, more little pumpkins. And then each month comes with this calendar, which is really cute because I like these on the page because the person who's using it can circle like important dates in October. Flag with this one, And then there's always, I call it a recipe card style, where you can journal on one side and then the month is initialed on the other. But it's double-sided, so if you don't want to use this part, you can use this part. And I did choose this paper for our base for October. So I'm going to keep my trimmer off to the side just so that it doesn't take up all my space here. These other little scraps, so what we had left, I always kept a scrap pile. And each month I'd go through and I'd see what the color palette was for the month. And then I go through my scraps and I'd pick out. So like I seen some green, so I went in through the scraps and picked out some shades of green. And remember, this is all the same collection kit, so all the colors are gonna be matchy-matchy. There's some extra orange. I don't think that's the right one. I want it for... Just hang on a minute. I'm thinking I messed up my papers. I don't think I wanted this one for October. I think I wanted this one. Yep, I wanted this one for October. I'm just going to have a look, though, at my November. No, that was right. This one is November. I should trust myself. This one is October. Okay. So I go through and I pick out colors that kind of match from the scraps that we have. There's a little camera. Every photo tells a story. Life is okay. So like more of that green. And then there's just some of this color, the daily grind. And then we have some of this flower pattern on one side. And then some just different color pieces on the other. So we have lots to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I left the strings on my pages. Let me see if I can get a better picture. From sewing, I just think it adds some charm. So, and I'm not a neat sewer. So I liked that. So I'm going to cut the barcode off. But I even have kept the barcodes because there's some design on one of them. I'm just going to do that to the side. And we'll save this over here in our pile. So now we have this piece. Now if you're working right on the calendar itself, you may not have to cut this down anymore. But where I chose to put it all on a black background that's a little bit smaller than the calendar, then I'm going to cut this piece down. So what I do is I'm going to go back to my previous layout and I put a piece here and a piece there. This one I kind of put it in the center. I just don't want them to be all matchy-matchy. So I just want to make sure that whatever October is, it's different than this one. So as long as we don't offset in the corners, we're going to be okay. So that's kind of how I start the process. And then I have to decide, do I want this side or do I want this side? So when I look at my embellishments, I'm just looking to see, like I like this, but it really blends in with the background. But we could put something of flowers. I do like that the Ghosties October, which is in black. So I may use this on the calendar portion. I'm just going to have another quick look. No, I use my stickers. So in the sticker, there was a different sticker sheet as well that had all the different months. Those are the ones I used on all my calendar ones. So the handwriting ones I generally put on here, which is fine because I could stick the October up here and then put my page down below. So that's good. I'm just going to put that to the side for a moment. If you have any questions, please ask. Now, for this one here, if we are going to use this side, we just have to make sure that we're not going to cut it in a way that's going to put our writing upside down. I really think, though, I'm going to use, maybe I'll use a portion of each. So I'm just going to randomly cut this piece. This is currently half of a 12 by 12. So I'm going to cut it 7 inches, and that's going to give us 5 inches. So I'm going to use part of this kind and part of this kind. Now for photo mats, I really go into my white cardstock kind of leftover folder, and I'll just pick out big enough pieces that would fit a picture. And, you know, the receiver might have to cut their picture down. That's okay. They might decide to put it over the photo mat and cover up more of the paper. That's okay too. So I have a couple here. This one's 4.5 by 4.5, so that one's a good one. And this one is 3 by 4.5, so that would fit a 2 by 3 photo. So let's go with these two. Sometimes we just put one photo on, sometimes we put two. I think there's a couple of pages where there's actually 3 photos. So it's really up to you, but I'm going to use these ones today. And you know, my motto is, just don't overthink the process. So I'm just going to stick this down to get us started. That's the one thing when you're sitting down to scrapbook and you're doing it without any kind of instructions or diagram, just start by sticking paper down. You won't go wrong. If you like the paper, it's going to look fantastic. And I think I'm just going to put this piece right down here. So that gets us going. And I have all the adhesive. I have my tape gun, which is an old one. I have double-sided tape in different sizes. I have my liquid tape nearby, and I have all the dimensional kind of tape handy for myself. So I know I definitely want this card, and it looks better on this pattern paper than what it does on there, but it might also look great up in this corner, kind of like that. And I didn't ink any edges, but you guys feel free to ink away. Now we'll soon decide where to put our photo mats, because I want to make sure as we're putting embellishment down, I'm not sticking it where the receiver can't fit their photo in. I'm pretty careful of doing that. I always want to leave a space so you can slide the photo in even after everything's put down. And yes, I'm very generous with the foam tape and tape in general. I don't want any of my projects falling apart. Anybody creating with me today? I know you generally watch, and a lot of you have the kits, and then you do it on your own time. So I'm putting that one down right there. October's a big month in our house. We have twins, a girl and a boy, and they're turning 32 this year. I have no idea how that happened. That makes me feel very old. So it so happens this must have been cut from the same piece of paper, because they're both 4.5. That's nice, because I could put like a photo here and one here. I think I'm going to do that. And then we have other birthdays. My brother-in-law's birthday's in October. My nephews. Sometimes these pages come together really quickly, and sometimes I spend a lot of time. But I love the October one. So there's documented. Now with the kit, there's also this big sticker sheet. And I did not use any of these stickers because I'm going to give it to the recipient so that they can kind of customize it themselves. But there's some fabulous stickers on the sticker sheet. The other thing I kind of steered away from is I used a little bit of dimension, like this particular foam tape. It's only probably 1/8 of an inch thick, if that. But I don't get right crazy with the dimension because then I found the calendar just doesn't stack up as nice. So that's kind of a little tip. So I am going to pop up this document, and I'm just going to go into my bin just because it's right here and grab a piece of brown twine. These are the scissors I use to cut adhesive, and I have to bring and wash them every day with Goo Gone. How you doing out there? Hi, Stacy. I'm so happy that you're joining me. I know we love looking at watching videos on our own time and after they've been recorded, but it's so fun for the people that are putting them on to have an audience and just some interaction. So I don't want to adhere it here over the photo. This is what I was talking about. I want to make sure that this is free, like through here, so that they can put their picture down. So I'm just going to put adhesive, a little pop square, under this part over here. And you'll see I have all kinds of different dimensional tape. I just have a huge staff. Some of it was given to me. I have no idea who made it. My favorite, though, is the 3M. I believe that's what it is. Good stuff. These are my absolute favorite. So I'm trying these ones. So I'm trying to use up some of my older stash before they become too old that they're not going to stick. But just to make sure, I do put a little dab of glue just down there. Document. So that's cute. So we have that. We have our ghosties and pumpkins. I want to make sure I get those on there. The other thing we have is a journaling spot. So we have this October journaling spot, but I think I'm going to cut this off and put my journaling right there. Down there. Crystal? I love it. Thank you for joining in. You don't have to put it right in the center. If there's a word that really speaks to you and you want to make sure that word is shown, you can do that. But I'm going to put mine in the center. Actually, this word documented is right there. So that's good. My little ghosties and my boo, the pumpkins. Oh, I love Halloween. And I made a bunch of Halloween cards. My intention was that I'm going to pop these up on the bottom. Again, not flat so that the photo can slide under. So just along the bottom. My intention was to mail out to my great nieces and nephews a Halloween card, which is $5 into it because they're away, so I don't get to give them treats. But the mail's on streak. We have some time. There's one pumpkin. Here's another one. This one I'm just going to put right down flat. Again, paying attention. I only put glue on the bottom because we don't want to keep any photos from sliding down in there. I like that October. Like, I could put the October right there and forfeit a picture. I do like that. Why not do it? Do it. And you know, the receiver can decide they might put a photo over the October. That's totally up to them. A little ghosty up here I think would be good. So I'm just going to put some, a little bit of pop square just down on that side. What's everybody up to today? I love fall. I really do. I love gardening. I think you've heard me saying that. But you know, when it comes to the end of the season, I'm happy to see it go away because I'm happy to see fall. So I'm going to put this one all the way down because there's a big space for documentation. So I'm going to put it all the way down right on here. This is coming together. I love it. Look at it so far. Now we have a couple of bats. So bats over here. I think those foam squares are too big. Got the itty bitty ones. Like they're tiny. I usually pull 2 or 3 off together. They're a beast though to get the backing off. You like that you've attached that? Oh, thank you, Charlene. Yes, I like it. I like it. I didn't use the larger month initials on many of the layouts. I just found like I didn't like it as much as the written one, or I just didn't seem to have the room for it. But this time, and you can get all crazy and like, you know, fill in the OCT with glossy accents or glossy crackle and let it dry and crack. That would be cool for October. And of course, you can get into your own stash of goodies and add some stamps or whatever you have in your stash for the holiday of Halloween. Oh my gosh, this is painful. There's a reason why I don't use these little ones very often. They're on there now. I feel like I gotta utilize them. I'm sorry. Painstaking chore of watching somebody take off the backing of adhesive. I think I missed one, but I think it's gonna have to do. Oh, looks like I missed 2, but that's okay. Little dot of liquid adhesive. Just because they're bats, I feel like I need them lifted off the page a little bit. It pulls the orange from the 6x7. Yeah, thank you. No, I do like that. Judy, I saw you pop up, so I'll enjoy watching, but wondering where I can find the notification so I'm prepared next time. The best thing to do is just get in a habit to go on the Facebook page and just scroll through the events and you'll see what's coming up for an event. I usually post to the Facebook page when I'm creating the event, but you know how it is, those posts kind of get buried very quickly in the page. But if you click on the events every other day or every day just to see what's coming up, you'll see it. And then I think you can click on it to join, or you're going, and then you'll get the notification. Sitting outside watching your video with my puppies. That's awesome. Now, candy corn is what we have left. And then we have, like we have some of this green. So I did pull in a couple of these pieces of green. Don't know if there's any spot we want to tuck in green. And then the give thing. Oh, look at this big feller. I missed him. Maybe I'll just put him flat up here. Can't waste a bat. Yeah, so that would be the best way to get the notifications, Judy. Oh, that will dry clear. I don't think I'm going to put the give thanks. I've pretty much dedicated this page to Halloween with all the fun stickers, so I'm going to leave this give thanks. But remember, everything that I have left, I'm going to just go through it and see what I can either add around this piece, because it's 10 by 10 and our platform is 12 by 12, or to the calendar portion. So to get a little green in, maybe we can do a banner. I'm just cutting that off, and I don't want a big banner. I am not a very straight cutter. I usually rely on my trimmer for everything. Now to make my banners, yes, I bend the paper a little bit. The paper has really no memory, so it will come back. And with the 2 pointies, if you just cut up, you'll have a perfectly even little banner. And I think I'll put that up over here, a little bit of pop magic to get it off my page. Tend to adhere embellishments and then have to pull them up to add a photo. I never thought about, yeah. So just don't put any adhesive. And another trick is, if it's for yourself, use the double-sided tape, but only take off the part that you want to put down until you add your photo. And then you just have to remove that other piece of tape and flip it down. Yes, I learned because I was doing that too. So you do learn from your mistakes, and I learn from watching other people. That's for sure. Yep. So just adhesive on the top, so photo can go down. Look, and now we have an opportunity for. I'm not a big candy corn person, though. I was going to say opportunity for a candy corn. I do like this particular green. Maybe we'll do another little flag on top. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, it's live and learn, right? Now you have to be careful. Now if you make a mistake and do your fold that way and you get a point instead of a pendant, just refold it. And now I have to figure it out. It's easier if I turn it this way. And then you can just cut it again. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the top. This one's already popped up, so I don't want to pop up another one. There. And I'm quite happy with this one. I don't think I want to add any more. So there's room for a 4x4 photo, journaling, but the person can absolutely cover this part if they want. Now, I left the boo up, so if they do decide to put a photo, they can. Now, I didn't leave the sticky, but there's still room in there for like a 2x2 photo right over there. So that would be cool. So lots of room. So that's October done. So I'm just going to put October to the side. And these are all the scraps left over from October. So I'm going to put them in this baggie. And like I said, when I'm all done today, I'll go back through and see what scraps I can incorporate into some of the other pages. Oh, thank you, Linda. That came out pretty cool. Just don't stress over it. Like, just go with the flow. Put on whatever relaxes you. Music. I love movies that I've seen 20,000 times. So that way I'm still paying attention to what I'm doing, but I have the distraction of the movie, and I love that. That is October. Now let's pick November. So when I was quick to say, nope, this peachy's for November, it's because the November main page is that peachy color. So I really, really like this side. Do orange, but I think it's going to be that side on top of the black. Like, to me, it's just stunning. That. So peachy. I just got to check my voicemail. I usually don't get messages during the day, so I want to make sure it's nothing vitally important, and it is not. We are okay. So this is November, and here's all my pieces. So these are from the scrap pile that I pulled out, and then this is from the ones that came with the kit that was specifically for November. And these are American made, right? So I find they do a lot of fall-like things in November, which is very good for us as well. Thank you, Jared. Welcome. Thank you, Judy. Oh, you guys are very kind. You're so generous. So let's see what came with the November. Again, these are kind of from the scrap pile because I looked at the colors that were in the kit, and then I picked some colors from the scrap pile that would kind of go with it. So we have some leaves. Oh, this is a cool one. It's a little car. I like that. We have a banner. We have the big November, the handwritten one. We have a heart, another leaf, another leaf. We have this November, and then the bigger November, the recipe card November. But we have this side of it that we can use too. Well, now let's see what we're going to do with this one. So I think I'm going to cut it off, lay it down, and let me see what I want to use for card mats this time. We have some bigger ones. This is a 4x6. And this is a 2.5x4. 2.5, so we have two 2.5x4s. Let's just play with that. And a 4x6. So let's see what we can get down for that. And just take my handy dandy pencil. Do you purchase month-to-month kits or the whole year kit? So yours, the calendar is a purchase. So you get the empty calendar. And I think it's with the calendar that there's that sticker sheet. So let me get to I'm trying to look for the front of the calendar. So the calendar comes, it's a 12x12 calendar. So you purchase that. And then if you want to, you can purchase the kit that they create to go along with it. And I don't know if they're going to name it the same each year. Like last year it was called For the Record. That's what the kit was called. So with the kit you get so many pattern papers, you get all the months with a few embellishments for each month. You get some cut apart cards. So you get all the months in 4x6s. And then you get a big sticker sheet like this here. And I explained that I don't use it because I'm going to give it to the person that gets this calendar to add their own stickers. So you get that in like in a package. So you can do that, or you can use from your stash and build it month to month. This black piece is what I chose to do. I like the black because the colors were so matchy-matchy in between the calendar and for the record kit. I just wanted something to break that pattern. So I'm choosing to do 10 by 10 black mats on top of it. And we'll put a few of the pages together. This year it was Simple Stories, okay, for the record. So they're calling it the same this year. Awesome. You're interested for next year. So for 2025, the releases come out. I would send a message to Heather and let her know that you're interested in the calendar and the kit. So Simple Stories already released it. So if you go to their page, you'll be able to see what it looks like. Last year was the first year they did it, and I think it was a big hit. And all my classes are recorded, so you can use them however you will. You'll keep an eye out for Simple Stories. Yeah, I know I've seen it on their post already, so you might have to go back and re-look it up. So, where do I want to put my photos? Kind of like the idea of having two small ones and then a large one. I love Simple Stories. I tend to use these little calendars on every page. I just love them because it is opportunity to circle the very important dates that are happening in the year. I don't always include the journaling. I'm just doing some stuff here. I don't want to cover all my paper there. Now I know I'm going to have room on the top of my calendar, so I may wait until I stick this down in the calendar and put my November on the top. I think that's what I'll do with that one. I like this here. I don't want that November this time, so I'm just going to put my photo mat right on top of the November. That worked out well. 2.5 by 4. Fit right over there. You'd almost think I had that planned. I really didn't. Best part for me and anything that I create, it's the details. It's the finicky little details that I just love. And I can get myself caught up and I can do a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, I like how that bee hangs over, but I don't like how this blends into there. So let's see how we can get something and then attach it so the bee kind of hangs over. Okay. Save that for an idea. And I'm going to put my other photo down here. Yeah, it's very fun. Like I wish this sort of stuff was out when I had smaller kids. I could still do it now for just because they're grown, I suppose, but it's like I don't get photos anymore. So I find myself now making layouts and tucking them in a bin for someday maybe I'll have a grandbaby and we'll have opportunity for photos again. So I'm going to pop this one up. I'm going to bring it in a little bit. November. There's November on that. I don't think that's going to deter me though, because I do like that idea of the bee. or even like half of the letter hanging over that picture. Let me pop this one up. October 1st for me is everything else comes to a pause, and Christmas is on my craft table from October 1st till December 1st. So December 1st is my cutoff. Now I might do my own personal Christmas album past December 1st. Sometimes I get it done before December, and then I do daily documenting. And I have my album done right up to date with Christmas. That's fun. But if not, that's something that I will do after December. But I do a lot of cards. Gosh, I hope the mail cooperates with us. I know there's bigger talking to myself and looking, there's bigger issues than worrying about whether Sherry's Christmas cards will get out. But didn't deter me last year. See, you can still put photos under. I just, as soon as it opened, I sent my Christmas cards. People got them late, like some didn't get them until January. But that was okay. I made them, and I really wanted people to have them. I like that little car. Right down there. And there's still lots of room to document, so I'm not too worried about covering it up. So I make Christmas cards. I make a lot. Typically, I make about 300. That's probably not a lot for some people, but it's a fair amount for me. And I mail probably 60, and then I put mine for sale at a local antique store. And I love making Christmas cards. So we have our little bug down here. I still want to pop this November, but we have this part here too. How about you guys? Do you do lots of Christmas cards or not so much? Just looking to see what I have. I purchased from Unique for the record ephemera. Awesome. What I'm currently working on? Perfect. So they still had some left. That's great. Very good. Oh, look, I should have used this bingo card underneath there. Or the real story. I don't think I can get that up. No, I'm not even going to try. That double-sided foam tape, it's really sticky. Together is the best place to be. When and where? I'm just looking for a little something. If I had a longer piece, put across there so that my November would stand out. So that's 6. So let me cut a piece that's an inch by 6. See what this looks like. Oh, I think I like that. And that way our November is going to pop out. So I'm going to put this flat. And then, so I only want adhesive, and it's okay that it's above, because remember, this is only 10 by 10 and my page will be 12 by 12. But I only want to put adhesive Nothing past the little curvy points. So I'm just going to focus on the upper points. There, I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. And I'm just doing this in case there's a little bit of glue that will come off on this piece instead of sticking down. So I just want to make sure that it's all good. Oh, I'm happy with how this is coming out. I don't think I've ever unhappy with a page. I remember when I first started scrapbooking, my friend and I would go to weekend retreats, and if we got three single pages done all weekend, that was a dream. Well, back then I guess we did more double pages, but I'm telling you, we thought we were smoking if we got 3 done. Now I usually do cards or an album or something of that nature. I'm just looking to see if I can incorporate this little frilly. Maybe just over this part, so I'll have to cut it down a little bit. Right there. How long does it take you folks to do a page? And now it's not even about the length of time, it's just the enjoyment. Oh, this is so fun. So there's still enough journaling space there. And I really didn't use too much of the extra stuff that I took out. I put a little bit of blue there, but I used mostly what came in the kit. Just thinking if I could incorporate this little piece. Oh, maybe right up there. Sometimes I like having the eye see the same pattern more than once. And I think I'll put a little dot, pop dot, for a leaf. I love this glue gun. And you see how that kind of just sticks up on its own? I don't know if you can see that. So what I do is I'll just put a little bit of glue under here and just allow the paper that's already popped up kind of hold it there. Now when you put it in an album it might lay a little bit flatter, but that's okay. You don't have to put a pop dot if you have something natural kind of hanging on. And then there's one more. We're going to use all 3, you know. I'm all about the 3s. Let's do another pop dot. I haven't created much over the summer, so the lady that sells my cards, she was telling me I was getting short on birthday cards. So I've been putting the big drive on making birthday cards for the last 2 weeks because, like I said, once October 1st comes up, it's all Christmas. Speaking of glue, you use such variety, I know. What is the huge tape runner you use? This is very old. It's an old Scotch Advanced Tape Glider. Either you love them or you hate them. You have to lift up this contraption, and this is where the refills go in. They're not cheap, and scrapbook stores just don't sell them anymore because they're so expensive. So I found a spot on Amazon that sells them, and I'll usually get a pack of, I think they come in a pack of 20 or 25, something like that, for $90. So, but I like my glue gun. I find it comfortable in my hand, but it's very old, and a lot of people hate putting the refills on. They find it very challenging. So that's what that is. So if you have a different kind of little tape runner, that's beautiful too. If anything happens to this one, my friend uses, and I'm not going to remember the name, but it's smaller. Like this one's fairly heavy too, and it's just that I'm used to it. But if you have terrible arthritis, I wouldn't recommend it because it is heavy. My arthritis is kind of getting there. But yes, I have a variety of glue. Judy, I have this year's bought a full kit. Good for you. Color Vibe. That's awesome. I don't think I'm going to put this little heart anywhere just because it blends in too much with the other patterns I got going on. So I will use it, and I do have an extra leaf that I can use on my calendar side. So this is November. So we have opportunity for a 4x6, 2 opportunities for a 2x3, some journaling space. I think we're good. I'm going to pick up my scraps. Yeah, we'll stick them down together so you can see the finished look in the album. I keep calling it an album, but it's not an album, it's a calendar. Can't find any online now. Are you looking for like the 2025 year, Judy? If you are, I don't think they're in the store yet. The 2024, which is, or no, sorry, it would be 2026 that's coming out. These were the 2025. You just have to check with Heather to see if she can still get them, to see if they still have some left in stock. The Simple Stories did come out with their New Year one, so it will be the 2026. Get my years off. Yeah, so it'll be next year because they start in January, right? So it'll be January of 2020. I think that's how they go. I hope I'm not telling you something that's wrong. Now for my last page, I discovered I didn't have a 12 or a 10 by 10 cut or sewed. I don't know what happened, but I lost count. And also, we were out of the half sheets. But I was okay with that because we had all this as leftovers to build a page. I am doing last year, so I'm doing 2025s. That's the one that I'm working on, Judy. So I just cut a 10 by 10. This one's not going to have sewing around it, but that's okay. And then here's our little packet of goodies. Of course, December is Christmas. I am doing the 2025 for the record. That's the one I'm doing. And it was for the record, Simple Stories. They have 2024 written on it. Let me just think about this for a minute. So they released it in 2024, but I started creating the calendar of January 2025. So the paper release would be 2025, and the idea is you would build your calendar starting January of 2026. I hope that makes sense. next year. So the new Simple Stories did release their memory year of memories. After the class is over, I will search and see if I can find a post from Simple Stories, and I'll post it as to what this year's looks like. So we have a December. We have a Christmas tree. We have presents. We have candy cane. We have some nice garland. Big December. We have some hearts. Oh, I like the holly. That's one plant I don't have is holly. I'd like a holly one. Some more hearts. This calendar I know I'm going to use. Going to stay. Oh, look at that. I kind of like that just like that. Huh. Present. Be merry. And then some more garland. I don't think I might have ripped it. Looks like I might have ripped it. But maybe I didn't. Anyway, still good. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it, Judy, and do a post. If you don't see anything from me because I couldn't find it, but I'm pretty sure I'll find it because I do know they released it. I like this already, so I'm going to pop this calendar right up on top of this December as my starting point. When you see it and you like it, just do it. That makes sense. They likely released the paper from the previous year to work through. Yeah. Thank you, Charlene, for looking that up for me. And I know Heather will be able to get it because she carries all Simple Stories stuff. So if you're looking for it, just let her know. If you're looking for the one I'm working on now, she'll have to see if she can get any stock because it would have been last year's stock. And what size of photos are we going to use? Let's see what I got left there in my stash. Yeah, I like this just like that. Still have some adhesive there, so I'm just going to be careful. So what do we have? We have a 3 by 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So for a 3 by 3 photo, we have a 3 1/2 by 4. I have a 4 by 6. And a 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So are we being too ambitious to think we can get 3 photo opportunities? I think we might be. But I'm going to put them all here and see what we're able to come up with. So I don't have a big piece, but that's okay. Let's see what we got in our scraps. I like that one. It says for the record. I like that old typewriter. So our main colors are kind of green, and for the December, see what the main page color is. It is green. It's this green. So I think I would like to enhance on the reds versus the greens. I like these stripedy bits. Loving this. Rate it by the hearts. There's some numbers. And I just put all these pieces because they had red on them. And that's kind of another calendar. There's like more journaling opportunity. So, you know, instead of using this for journaling, we could use it for a photo. I think I like that. So that's the 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. because I kind of like this strip for journaling if we decide to put journaling in there. And not every page has to have a journaling spot. So I do like that. And then we have some strips. Oh, so see, so at the back of the, I call them the recipe cards for the different months, are all these stripes. So that's cool. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to put my pages. And if we put it right together, it's like we have a continuous. What do I think? Maybe I'll start with putting down where I want my photos. So we could do a 4x6 vertical. One there. I like where this is going. And let's put this one down. It's going to be a 4x6 vertical. And then this one's going to go down here. There's no point in putting pattern paper down if we're just going to use some photo frames anyway. Yes, I don't know who said I use a variety of tape, but I sure do. Yep, and there's no tape there, so make sure that photo can slide. And I left just enough space so we can put this one in here. And I like having that little bit of black line in between. You have the line, Judy? You're smoking. Because there's videos for every month, and there's a video to prep your paper if you're so interested. And then, so what do we have here? Oh, like this could be where our journaling goes. We could have it there. And leave that here for a minute. So we have one more spot that we could do another photo, but I have something I got to fill in over here. I like the numbers. Oh, yeah. I like the numbers. I'll need a little bit of a black border. Okay. And then we could put some more stripes here. Fancy trimming. I'll put it down and I'll take my pencil. If I'm too lazy to pull out my black, if I'm too lazy to pull out my measuring stick, I only have about a dozen of them. Like that. Just being careful not to put tape right to the very end. I like the stripes going in the same direction. not doing too bad for time. An hour and 10? We're smoking. Now we do have opportunity for another picture. Let's do that because it is December after all. Lots of photo ops in December. Now let's see some of our embellishments. I like how they overlap the picture. I do like that. So it's on the bottom. Well, make sure I'm doing that again right. Let's see on the bottom. And I'll just take this and slide it just to make sure that's not, if there's any glue, it will rub off on this piece versus stick it down. Oh, I like that. So it's free for photos, and then look at our embellishments. Be merry. We have some garland. Gonna have fun with this one. Oh, that's cute. And we could actually pop this up. So I'm just going to put one of these pop squares into each of those round bubbles. Oh, this Christmas page is getting me in the mood for Christmas cards. Now, something strange. As much as I love the decorations for Christmas, the building the cards, I don't enjoy the holiday anymore. And I'm sure it's because my kids are older, but I just feel like it's so commercialized. And I'm sure you guys can relate. Like, I think about Christmas when I was a kid, and it was all about visiting. Like, we got gifts, of course, and some fun things. We spent our 2 weeks off of school visiting every night. And if we weren't out visiting, then people were in visiting us. And that was the expectation. Everybody took turns coming to each other's houses. And the conversation and the laughter, and like, that's what I remember. I also remember my mother and father fighting over the Christmas tree as I'm holding the tree. Oh my gosh. I think of it now and it's hilarious, but it wasn't back then because there was none of this tree farmers like with the perfect trees. It was you went out back of your house and into the woods and you cut a tree and you brought it home. And I can remember one year my mother would never go with my father to pick out the tree. I don't know how many trips he made in the woods. No wonder he got frustrated. And then finally, he said he wasn't going back in the woods anymore. So what he did is he drilled holes in the tree and then cut off limbs from another tree and put in the holes so it would be as full as what she wanted. I'm telling you. Yeah, those days are gone. So we'll put our tree here up on some pop tape. And I'm just going to put this present flat. So we'll slide right down underneath there. But yeah, there's just something about Christmas now. Like, it's not like that. People don't visit. They don't send cards. That's why I think I love sending cards so much. This one I will pop up. And we live too, like we live a distance from most of our family. Not all of them, but most of them. Oh, I like how that kind of tucked in and hooked on the tree, the candy cane. I wonder if I can do it. I think it's just meant to be there. There's just some glue on the bottom of the candy cane. And hook it like that. And maybe put a little pop square underneath. What's the glue gun? This glue gun is called My Sweet Petunia. And Heather did have them in. I don't know if she can get any more. That's a company that's very particular into, I don't know, they're just very particular. So I don't know if Heather's dealing with them anymore, but you get these bottles. This is a Nuvo bottle. And I just refill it with the art glitter glue, because the end will come off and you can refill it, and then it just pops in here, and then it's a squeeze trigger board. It is a lovely tool. Sweet Petunia, My Sweet Petunia. So if you message Heather and ask her if she can get any of the My Sweet Petunia glue guns, she'd be able to tell you. So usually people that sell the stamping press, like the original stamp press machine, will have the glue guns. Yeah, it's a company that's very particular over what retailers do with their products. Yeah, My Sweet Petunia. But if you can't get that, and you can just get the bottle of art glitter glue, you can get the small bottles, and I think it's the 2-ounce bottles, and you can get a tip that screws onto the bottle that gives you precision. So if it's not got a handle, then it still has like that very fine line tip that you can use. Some holly here. Sweet Petunia. Sounds like a very southern. Yeah, I don't like, and she's come out with some, it's a lady, I don't know what her name is, and she has come out with some very really good tools. The stamping press is one of them. And she did patent the stamp press, but there was a big court case, I believe, with Tim Holtz, because he then released a stamping platform that was the same ideas as hers. So, and then that one, they had to take it off the market. So, yeah. Christmas is very different with so many people gone, yeah. And I try to keep the traditions alive, even with my adult children, and try to tell them, like, and we do get together, and it's a lot of food. Like, we celebrate with food. And it's just fun. And, like, we have traditions of Christmas pajamas and a certain breakfast for Christmas. And anyway, we have lots of fun. Now I'm going to do this because I just thought of it. So I didn't have anything journaling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold make a score line. I just thought of doing this because that piece fit in there so nicely. Now this tool, these are awesome. I got this from Heather. It's a bone folder, but it's a long one so that when you're making envelopes or doing anything long, it's really nice. And I'm going to put a piece of double-sided tape right here. And I'm going to reach, oh, sorry, I'm kicking the bucket. Reach for my corner rounder, which is already over here. And I'm going to round the corners. And make like a little hinge. Tuck it underneath this Christmas tree. Here, we're going to make a little flap so they can do journaling. And then lift up to see the picture. That'll be fun. I think I got that on straight. Yep. So yeah, so you can do flaps with this calendar easily because it is not into any kind of pages. So that's fun. And then to open the flap, see now I'm getting into the details. I'm going to just round some corners and put a little bit of adhesive just on this part. I can go over the page a little bit. Because again, the black is 10 by 10. And then they can, oh, my adhesive wasn't stuck. I can flip it up. Like that. The little hearts I'll put on my other one. So I think my December is done. So I'm going to show you what I have for leftovers, which isn't a lot, and I'm not going to have this many because I will be going back and adding some to pages. So I just have some different pieces cut just left over. So not a whole lot, definitely enough to make cards if you're so inclined to do it. So now let's put our pages down. So December come out nice. What do you think of that one? I like it. I like the red. Now I am generous with tape. Like I said, I don't want it to come off, so I use the thick. Sometimes I even use a thicker one. Just whatever I happen to have on the go. Now this is an old Ranger tool. It's like a pan scrape. Oh, a pan scraper. I'm not going to worry about that because it's from the, it's going to go on the back. But I love using it to cut off to hold my tape down, to varnish it. And hold it to cut it off. I think I'll do a calendar day to get caught up. Absolutely. You know what I used to do when my kids, even before I was in scrapbooking, I used to do brag books, picture books from, like, pictures throughout the year for the godparents. And those godparents, I did that until the kids graduated, but they would look forward to those brag books every year. I don't know if I'll do another calendar, Charlene. But I'll be doing layouts, so don't worry about that. What also comes in the calendar is it does come with some ideas. So this is the calendar. So with the calendar, you get, this is where all the different months come that you separate them into little packages. You get a sticker sheet with the month labels there, and then you get the number labels. But on the back, it shows you different diagrams to do a layout if you want. So that's there, but I'll definitely be doing layout classes, which could be applied to any calendar. I love doing layout classes. Well, let me put some more tape down on these ones and then we'll get them in our book. I'm not saying I'm not open to the idea of it. That's for sure. I'm going to filter with this one. Yeah, I'm pretty generous with the tape. And one more here. Remember, you can reference back to all my videos for this year. Oh, that's good. Look, come to the end of my roll. Layouts would be wonderful. I can definitely do more layout classes. I love layouts. Like I said, I just don't have a lot of pictures, but I do have some photos that I've collected over the summer that I haven't done anything with. So I can certainly do layouts. So this is for our October. And then what I do, because I made it, as I purposefully don't go in the same spot as my previous month, just to try to create some balance. So this one went up into the left-hand corner, so I might put the October one down here. And the other reason is if you try to do the exact same spot, if you do decide to like do as I did and build it on a different platform and then glue it in, then you're going to notice it if it's off. But if you purposefully make it off each month, then you're not going to notice it. And it does seem to balance the calendar somewhat. I'm just going to come over, and I like having my strings out. And you can use the little dots as a grid to help you be somewhat straight. And I'm just going to fold this one down and burnish it really good on the. Now, what would you guys like for layout classes? Like one a month, two a month? What's your preference? Wasn't that one cute? That's October. Now November, so I went over here in October. I can aim for kind of the center for November. Maybe I'll aim for the center for December and put this one more to the top. And do you like, the other question is, do you prefer like a kit where you have the opportunity to buy in advance and then you do a layout with what you bought? Or do you want just the layout and then you use your own stash? So there's different options. Someone had given the idea of selling the kits during the show and tells, and I really like that. The only thing is us as class providers will have to make sure that we have our sample done to show at the same time as the sale goes on. You know what it is. Could do 2, but with kit supplies available ahead of time. Yep. Gotcha. There's November. I love that card. And then our last one. Start with a double page. Sure. We can do double pages. My thing with double pages is if you like single or double, if you use the same paper line for both, it can be 2 single pages or it can be 2 double pages, as long as you're using the same paper line. So it really fits everybody's cup of tea. Oh, I have to commit because my adhesive dropped. Burnish it. I like both ideas, using what you are using as well as what we have at home. So the beautiful thing about Hits Charlene is, you know, a lot of people like to experiment with, oh shoot, don't tell me I put that on upside down. No, I didn't. Oh, phew! I thought I put it upside down for a minute. Well, I would have had to get out my, what's that, glue remover, because there's a lot of tape down on here. Even if you do a class with a kit with someone and then repeat it with your own paper, it's going to look totally different. Even if, because the embellishments are going to be different, and you know, you'll then have the confidence to say, well, I know we put this photo here during the class, but I'm going to put it up here. So don't be afraid or think that just because you used a layout in a class, you can't then take it and redo that same layout using your own stash. It will look totally different, and it works. I used to do that all the time. So when I said I'm going to go through, so this space here, so like these heart stickers, I can tuck some in here around the space here. And even on the calendar side, I can use up some of those. Like, you know, why not stick a heart sticker down here on the calendar? A couple of them. And this little piece of garland we can put up here. There's another heart up here. So you don't have to waste a thing. Well, guys, I can't believe it. We are at the end of the year with our calendar. I'm just trying to find again the front of it. But there you go. It's pretty thick. And that's not using like strong pop-up stuff throughout. So I love it. Yeah, not a problem, Charlene. It's been fun. It's been fun. This is the second year that I've done like a monthly something for an entire year. And that's why when you ask me if I do another one, I like trying something different. So I'm not sure if it will be the 12 by 12, but definitely I'll do more layouts and work with that sort of stuff because it is fun. Let me show you the cards because I know a lot of you purchased this on the auction. It was the Mente birthday 12 by 12. This is one of the cards that I did with it. Isn't that pretty? So it's like a fold-out card using the Minty paper. And remember my little trick that I said, you know, when you want to do something creative but you really don't want to haul big project stuff out, you just sit down and you do die cutting or you do something of that nature. So this was one of those foil sheets that comes with the toner, and then you put the foil on it and you run it through your ink machine. So I did like a whole bunch of these sheets in one sitting and just put them aside. So now today I was able to take this and just cut it up and use it on the card. And then these balloons was from a Pink Fresh, one of those Pink Fresh bundles where you get the tape, the dies, the stamps. So like I rolled out that whole roll of tape and did some on vellum, did some on white cardstock, and cut them all out in an afternoon and put them aside. So then I have balloons for birthday cards. So it's just fun. It's just fun. Well, guys, thank you so much. And as always, it's a joy to be with you. I'm not sure when my next class is going to be. I didn't post one yet, but I have some ideas running around in my brain. Check out the event calendar on a regular basis to see what's coming up. And we'll talk real soon. I'll see you tomorrow night on the paper pad auction. See you now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.